Hey everybody, Courtney here, and today I'm going to offer a short, sweet yoga flow that focuses on balancing poses. So it's going to be great for your physical body and also great for your mind. Do make your way to a kneeling shape that feels comfortable and sustainable for a minute. Any padding under your knees, your feet, or between your hips and heels. And just take a deep breath in with me. Do let it out. Maybe lick your lips, swallow. Inhale through your nose. For now, through the mouth. One more like that. And you can lick your lips, swallow again. Start to breathe both in and out through your nose. Referencing the ocean sound, the wavelet quality. We'll circle the arms out and up with the next inhale. Bring your hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra, as you exhale. Taking up space, reaching wide. And then integrating all sides of your body, your mind. Take a few more like that. Deep breath in, we're reaching, even the skin stretches, maybe look up. Complete breath out, releasing. The navel draws in, you empty the belly. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time, in through the nose and out, however is helpful right now. Part of creating balance is allowing for that moment where maybe the exhale is a little bit longer than the inhale. Coming towards Samavriti, taking in as much as we let out over time. Take your hands forward, all fours. And just a simple flow at first, inhaling arch. Exhaling round. Again, inhale. Exhale. Do take a few more cat-cows, looking for that pause when you're full on the back bend. And that pause when you're empty in that forward bend. Last time for now. And then do come to a neutral spine. Natural curves being honored in the lower back and neck, but not exploited. Let the head, the neck move freely for a moment. Re-extend the fingers if that's needed. Now making sure your bones are really stacked. Sometimes even subtle adjustments so the hips are in fact over knees, shoulders over wrists. Right leg reaches back. Lift that leg to the height of your hip. Always peek down the midline, see the toes facing toward the floor. Opposite arm is going to extend, catching your balance here. Looking for this long line from the lifted heel all the way out through the fingertips. Take another inhale. When you're ready, exhale, elbow toward the knee, a little crunching sensation. Inhale, re-extend, finding that cow shape. Exhaling, crunch. Do a couple more. Today, just re-extending the arm, the leg, root and rise for another inhale. Exhale, release. Rock and sway your hips, your heart center. Realigning from the ground up, left leg reaches back. Do lift the leg to the height of your hip. Opposite arm reaches forward. Catching your balance for another moment here, even if you have to realign from the ground up. And then do bring the elbow toward the knee once you've created that sense of stability. Inhale to get long. Exhale, round. 2 to 3 more on your own. Re-extending the arm, the leg, you'll hold for that moment. Rooting down to rebound upward. Push the floor away from you if you can. If you're wobbling, can you breathe through the wobbles, being patient with your balance? Exhaling will release. A little wiggle and sway. Now turning your hands to face your knees for a breath or two. Sit back on your heels, shake it out a little bit. Sigh it out a little bit. So again, from this kneeling shape, we're going to stretch. You're going to walk your right fingertips back a little bit further than your right toes. Lift your hips gently and reach that left arm up and back, maybe looking right. Exhale, do sit your hips to your heels. Everything relaxes. Walking the left hand back. Inhale. Exhale. Integrating the right and left. Do a couple more. You can keep going with that or try reaching both arms back. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale. Maybe 2 more. Tips of the shoulder blades move forward and up. Exhale, everything floats down. Not as deep as camel, but in a sense a modified variation. Building on hero pose. And do release. From there, walk the hands forward. Big table shape, hands at least shoulder width. Curl the toes, lift your hips, draw your booty up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale high on tippy toes. Exhale, just the right heel moves toward the floor. Inhaling high on tippy toes. Exhale, left heel toward the floor. Inhale high on tippy toes, even if the knees need to stay bent. Reach both heels toward the floor a little bit from here. Last breath. And then walk hands to toes. Drop your head, give it a little shake, yes. Maybe a little no. Anything in between. Slide hands on shins, inhale, flatten the back. A basic flow where you simply fold from there. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, a half fold. Exhale, Uttanasana, a complete fold. Take a few where you're flowing with your inhale and your exhale. Working with the ocean sound or just drawing the air in through the nose and letting it flow through the mouth. Purifying it. But even if you're a little stuffed up, you can still practice. Just breathe in the way you need to. Top of the head releasing, quads lifting, shake the head out, maybe side out. Great time to flutter the lips to help you release stress. And then do roll it up over the next couple of inhales, noting lengthening will be easier if the back is tender. And for the next exhale or two, a little rock, sway, shimmy. Inhale, do shrug your shoulders, exhale, release. And then just looping the right shoulder, then your left shoulder, and then returning to both. Standing on your right foot, pick up your left knee. Bring that knee toward hip height. Flamingo pose. Knee the wall, you can always bring your right hand to that wall for support. Otherwise, reaching for that left foot, left ankle right away. Hike it up to the inner upper thigh or up to go at the calf, not pushing directly on your knee. The leg is rolling open maybe 45, 55 degrees, not a full external rotation. And I encourage you to try joining your thumbs, your first fingers. Gyan Mudra is one way to help with physical balance and maybe emotional, energetic balance. Arms can reach like branches. Noting that this idea of a drishti, or a steady, soft focus, is so important in our balancing work. Not letting our eyes look at everything happening around us, not scrolling, but letting them land on one spot. Now, different than staring, do soften the mind's eye, maybe lick your lips, swallow. You could turn the drishti upward or just stay as you are. You could also float that standing heel upward if you want to get really advanced. You might wobble and sway, imagine wind in the branches of that tree. Vrikshasana, you'll release, top knee can come forward, maybe the heel comes forward. If you're wobbling, hopping around, can you breathe through that imbalance? And then let it go. So much of it is about the breath and not about the aesthetic. Sometimes the breath will help you achieve the aesthetic, but so much less important than just inhaling and exhaling in that soothing way. From mountain pose, pick up the right knee, nicknamed flamingo. From flamingo, your choice, of course, to use the wall, to opt to take the foot low, or maybe it's all the way up at the inner thigh. Pushing the foot to the leg, leg to the foot, a mutual relationship. So we're not throwing each other off the balance. They're finding this connection. Gyan Mudra or otherwise, prayer shape. Branches, or of course, whatever works for you. A few more cycles of breath where you do choose to stay put. Or of course you explore, changing the drishti, maybe lifting the heel like a dancer would do, releve. Ballerina style, if you will. And whatever happened, can you keep the breath flowing? Taking in as much as you let out. Samavritti. Top knee, maybe the heel forward, try not to lean back. And exhale. A little shake, a little shimmy, maybe a sway or two each way. Bring it back to Tadasana. Inhale, do shrug. Exhale, release. A standing flow. Inhale, take the arms up. When you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, take it down. Inhale, chest forward, traps back. Exhale, release from there. Inhale, you're rising. And for now, exhale, just diving right away. Now, eyes can close, the drishti turns inward. You can also stay open, moving with you, essentially at the horizon line. Flowing with your breath for another minute or so here. If you need to follow along, you do. Last time. And as we come to stillness, do bring your hands to your heart, Tadasana or mountain. Encourage you place one hand at your belly, one at your chest, and then switch whichever one you placed. And observe. Noticing if the mind is racing, can you bring it back to the present? Using that rise, that fall of the inhale, the exhale. Maybe the phrase, I am inhaling, I am exhaling, to help you look for that balance. And when it's simply not there, can you have a little more patience with yourself? A little more compassion? Doing your best to breathe through whatever happens. Hands can be at the heart of the hips. We're going to roll onto the right heel, working into our balancing warrior, the Veer 3, sometimes referenced as airplane. Take the heart forward and up. Springy right knee, rooting through that big and little toe joint. And then allow your inner thigh to lift, a lot like our extended cow. Square the pelvis. Looking for stillness, but maybe that standing knee does get a little straighter. Maybe the arms reach wide or even forward. And take a last breath or two. Inhaling and exhaling no matter what's happening through the asana. Use that standing foot and leg, use the core, inhale it up, exhale it down. A little shake and shimmy or just get still. Maybe a shoulder roll. Hands at the heart of the hips, take it to the left heel. Feel that big and little toe joint rooting down. The heart does move forward and up. Yes, it's gonna move down a little bit if you're looking at what's actually happening in the torso. But ideally, and that wasn't the case for me, you're going slowly in a way where the leg lifts and it balances out that hinging, that pitching forward of the torso. Essentially finding one long line from the heel to the crown at roughly hip height. Standing knee is unlocked but working towards straight. Arms could reach wide or forward. Noting the chest is still broad. Most importantly, your breath is still flowing. You will root and rise. Inhale if it's a choice to come up at this point. And exhale. No matter what happened, it happened. Shake it out. It's all temporary. Can you choose to release, helping you feel a little more balanced, not only physically, but emotionally. From the top of the mat, take the arms to the sky. Let's bring in a cactus shape, bending the elbows, opening up the chest, the fingers wide. Inhaling, reach to the sky. Diving forward, exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, chest moves forward. Do walk yourself one by one into a basic plank. We're only going to do plank once in this particular sequence, so a few extra breaths to be here. Building strength, maybe by lifting the right foot up for a breath or two. Just an option. The foot could stay down, the knees could even modify and come down. Tap the foot if you are working toward the leg lift, switch sides. Left foot hovers. Your booty is still low, the navel still drawing in and up. Tap the left foot down, take your inhale. Little shift forward in the feet, or again, use the knees. How slow can you go? Elbows graze the ribs. Maybe you hover and stick, aka chaturanga, and then you release. Stretch the feet back, pull the heart forward and through, low cobra. Exhale, just come down to your right ear. Inhaling, low cobra. Exhale, bring it down to the left ear. One more time, inhale, low cobra. Exhale to the mind's eye. Curl the toes. You can use your knees or fire up the legs. Inhaling, push it up. Downward facing dog. Take at least one more inhale, rock, sway, maybe flutter the lips out. Bring yourself down to the knees. Cross the legs behind you or just sit to one hip. Take the feet forward, do sit tall. And exhale completely. And working with that drishti, thinking of the horizon line, navasana, the boat. Leaning back, not quite to our tail, but the base of our sit bones. Lifting the feet, the legs. Especially good in the fall, the winter, as things get a little chillier. Reaching arms forward, we're gonna fire it up. Exhale, do lower, Ardha Navasana. Inhale, see if you can pick it all up and lift. Knees can stay soft, but maybe they get a little straighter on the way down. And then again, can you pick it up? Just a few more. Eyes steady, breath flowing. And then we'll hover, Ardha Navasana, take an extra inhale, exhale. Maybe 2 or 3, maybe even reach the arms back. And then you come on down. Feel free to sigh it all out. Walk the feet in. Taking them as wide as the mat, reach the arms wide, windshield right by the legs. Inhaling neutral, exhale flop. We'll take a few each way, eventually letting both knees tip on over to the right. Can just be here, right? Some days this is plenty. Otherwise, reaching the arms back, right hand kind of pulls on the left wrist. Right foot can also rest on the left thigh. If you're needing a pillow for the arm, the head, use it to your advantage. If there's preps in your way, just moving them. You can also put a block, something under that knee, the inner thigh, if you need that in the bottom leg. 2 to 3 more inhales and exhales, letting that deeper psoas stretch. Helping to balance the body physically by opening up the longest muscle. You can always linger on the side that needs that time. Bring it back to neutral, feet still about mat width. 2 to 3 times, letting those legs move on the exhale. Inhale to neutral. Next time they flop on over left, let them stay. Perhaps this is it, maybe reaching back. Left hand gently pulling on the right wrist. Left foot maybe releasing on the right thigh. And our head can release, just letting the eyes soften, looking toward the sky or tipping the head and neck. Closing eyes and letting the release happen. And stretching that long muscle, the psoas, helping us create better posture, helping us feel more balanced, physically and even mentally. Coming back to center. Feet wide, let your knees tip in, arms can soften to that cactus kind of shape or a loose V. Eyes closed or soft, reminding yourself that the soft, steady focus, that drishti idea, is a great thing to apply when maybe you are excessively scrolling or feeling like you are not able to focus, you are not able to slow things down. And when we do hone that drishti, often we feel more balanced in so many different ways. With that said, you'll separate the knees, bring the feet toward each other for a butterfly. Or of course, find your way into a shape of your choice. Feeling free to let this become your final relaxation for today's practice, or perhaps to flow on. Got lots of different videos depending on what your needs are. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do like and subscribe. Namaste.